many of the markets that we're in, there's a high level of competition. There's lots of people that do similar things to us. Watch this video and I'm going to give you my top tips so you can be standing out from the crowd. So you don't need to worry about competition because you're really clear about who you are, what you do, and who you work with. I'm Ruth Kudzi, the founder of Ruth Kudzi Coaching. I transformed my life and my business, and I'm passionate about helping others do the same. So my first tip, especially as a small business owner, is to really understand and embody who you are. Because your individual personality, experience, skill set is only individual to you. You're the only person in the world who's had the experience and the reality that you've had. So the more that you understand yourself, the more that you are, I hate this word, but I can't think of another one, the more that you are truly authentic and honest and open about who you are, the more that you're going to stand out. Because ultimately, you're playing to your strengths. So if you do not already know your strengths, if you are not there on the self-awareness, do not worry. For most of us, it's a journey. So start to become clear on your strengths. Who are you? What are you really good at? What are you better at than other people? Where are you in flow? I know for me, one of the things that I'm in flow with is teaching. I find it really easy to talk and teach. So it makes sense that I use that in my business. Obviously, I teach on video, I train people to become coaches, and I even teach people about elements of business in my Coaching Hub community. So I want you to really think about what you are good at, what you enjoy, and where you're in flow. That's a sign of your strengths. If you find this difficult, ask people, what words would you associate with me? Look at your client feedback. Look over your jobs and look at what people have said about you in the past. And think about when you've been at your happiest in a work context, because that will give you a clue as to when you have been acting in flow state. So first of all, it's all about that flow state. It's about where you are happiest and most fulfilled and you're good at what you're doing and it comes naturally to you. And then it's about self-acceptance. So especially for service-based entrepreneurs, if we accept who we are and where we are, and we accept that maybe we are loud or we're quiet, we're big picture or we're detailed, we always follow things through, we don't follow things through. If we accept who we are, and if we have radical self-acceptance for those things that are really attractive about us, and those things that are less attractive, our shadow as well as our light, we're much more attractive. We don't need to be perfect. In fact, if you're able to embrace your whole self and bring that to your business, you're going to be much more magnetic and attractive because people connect with you on a deeper level. They'll connect with who you are. They'll connect with your values. And they'll connect with that points of difference. This doesn't need to mean that you're sharing everything about you. What it does mean is that you accept yourself right now. You know that you are enough and therefore that you're able to go and you're able to help people. And part of this is about being confident about what you do. If you're confident about what you do, other people are going to feel confident too. And that's going to make you stand out. So understanding your strengths and your skills and when you're in flow state and playing to those in your business. Now, I want to be really clear here. We don't need to bring all of every single facet of our personality into our business. We have our own personal values and belief system. We need to then create that for our business. What are our business values and what is the basis that is built on? And we can share the things that we want to share about ourselves. So there may be things that have happened to us that we don't want to share that are not relevant, and that is okay. I think when I've talked about this in the past, that people have this idea they need to share everything. They need to share trauma that had happened in the past, or their parents' divorce, or the fact that they failed at something. And you don't need to share that. You share what is relevant for your audience. And yeah, of course, we can do behind the scenes stuff where we share other things, but really it's about what is congruent with our brand story about us, but that brand story has got you at the center. So your experience, your skills, everything comes together in creating a unique positioning for you, which is based on you as a unique person. So this is how we stand out. We stand out by sharing those things which make us different, not sharing the things that make us the same. We stand out by standing up for the things that are important to us and demonstrating our values. So we all have different values. There's no right or wrong. There's actually not a value judgment in values. It's about sharing what we hold true to ourselves. And we can do that by telling stories. We can do that through our content. We can do that through our actions. People see. And the more that we do that, the more that we share our story and our stories that are relevant to our audience and to us and to our business, the more that we share our values through our stories and what we do, and the more that we're consistently doing that, the more that we create a really strong positioning and we stand out. Remember, people are overloaded with information. I don't even know how many millions of people are on YouTube, but we've got all of these social media platforms. So everybody has got all of these different influences the whole time. So how do we stop? Well, if we are repeating similar messages, if we are consistently saying similar things, if we are showing up in the same way, people start to associate us with particular words, values, experiences, and feelings. And that creates that point of difference. This is why, as a business owner, actually, if we have got really consistent processes, even for onboarding and offboarding clients, if we say what we do what we say we're going to do, if we, if we always do videos on a Wednesday, for example, if we do that, we're building up that consistency. And so people are able to paint a clearer picture in their mind. The consistency works because people are not paying attention. I hate to tell you, people are not paying attention that much to you. So if you are there and you're doing the same thing and people start to remember you, they're able to paint that picture of you. So standing out is about you getting really clear on who you are and what you stand for. It's about you sharing those elements of your story that make you different and you celebrating that difference. It's about you doing what you're really good at. And when you grow, you can get a team to do the rest. That's what I do. I don't do the detail. I definitely don't do anything around video editing. But you can get others to do that for you. And it's about being consistent. If you are saying the same thing in many different ways, but the same thing, if your messaging is consistent, if you're talking to the same person, if you're doing that over time, you start to stand out. You might want to then think about what you are going to talk about. What are those key moments, episodes, feelings in your brand story? So what are those things that you stand for? And what are those things that you would talk about and you would put your line in the sand about? Now, most of those would be related to your business, but it may also be that you include things which are related to who you are and the way you see the world. So for example, I feel really strongly about equality, and that's equality for everyone. So I will talk about that in my content. I bring in that in my programs. And so that's something that is slightly different about me. And that's something that I talk about. So is there something else that you feel strongly with that you want to weave into your business that makes you stand out? And then when you're thinking about your messaging, understand what your core message is. So I've actually got 2 businesses and 2 core messages, but fundamentally, I believe in the power of coaching as being transformational. So everything is around that. And I talk about that from a psychology and neuroscience point of view. I talk about professional development as a coach, and I talk about developing your business by playing to your strengths, this kind of thing. So I'm saying the same things in different ways. So I want you to really consider your core message and then your sub-messages underneath that. And in terms of content, you probably have 4 to 6 main pillars that you talk about. And that's what you talk about. And of course, sometimes you might bring something else in that is relevant, but if you're staying talking to those pillars, you're able to be consistent. The message is clear. So you're transmitting a clear message to the receiver, your dream client, and therefore you're standing out to them. If you're saying the same thing, if you're talking about the same stuff, then they're going to start seeing you as the expert and you're positioning yourself as that expert in the marketplace. If you've enjoyed this video, then I'd like you to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to make sure that you get all of the updates from my channel.